Hello. Unlike my last 3 videos, I'm going to be playing Minecraft in a way that I enjoy it. For for most of my videos, I've been just playing in Minecraft worlds that I am goofing around in. Most of these videos are just for goofing around. To name this world, I'll just do exactly what I'm doing. It's just for fun. It doesn't mean that I need to be in hardcore. It doesn't mean that I have to go and follow the rules. It's just whatever I want. So this just means that I can go and choose also whatever I want, because I'm a big fan of keep inventory. Not a big fan of phantoms. In mob explosions, some blocks. That's off. There we go. And with that, I think I'll start the game. So, I think the best thing about Minecraft that is underutilized in most media is that this game is not made for you to play it in any way. You can do, quite frankly, whatever you want, and that's what makes it so amazing. And I think many people have been stuck in this rhythm that you need to be playing Minecraft in a certain way. You need to beat the Ender Dragon. You need to build an auto farm that can make you kill God, practically. But truly, Minecraft is just a game for building. It's a game where you mine and craft. So if you don't like how a certain part of a game is feeling, just change it. Don't feel any shame about it. It's just a game. Games are meant for fun, really. In this, I'll most likely talk about some of the topics that are heavy on my mind, such as games like Hytale, which it's a video game that I've been waiting for 5 years now. It's a fascinating game that I have a feeling will replicate the feeling of Minecraft to me, which that feeling is kind of joy mixed with fun of grinding, because I'm a big farmer type person. I enjoy building farms, and auto farms are amazing and all, but sometimes they're just not that useful when it comes to longevity of a game. So I'm very excited for it, because it's a true new breath of air. One thing that I really hope comes out of that game is probably, I hope that the community stays as positive as it is right now, because recently it's been a whole lot of nothing from the devs, and really the silence, it becomes deafening when you're waiting for something for 5 years. Most of the time we see things where creators get pushed to go and create the game faster, like in the case of Cyberpunk 2077 and others. But I have no fears that the devs will go and put most of their effort into creating a good game and not releasing too much information too fast. I think the biggest problem I have really is just that I fear that they may be pushing their luck by having it delayed for so long. But I think that they'll do a very good job. It's one of those things where you have faith, but you wish that you could play the game a little bit sooner, like through a beta. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a concern, because I'm not gonna be angry that developers are taking their time and putting their efforts into a very well made game. So, interesting thing about my skin, it is from one of my favorite manga anime series, JoJo. This is a skin known as Wonder of You. It's a reference to the song The Wonder of You by Elvis Presley, but I think what makes it so interesting is just how fascinating the creator of the skin made it. He made it look, he or she made it look very good for a Minecraft skin. Hmm. So, one thing I find fascinating about these recent years is that truly it doesn't really matter what you do in life as long as you are happy. Because people have gotten rich off of many bizarre circumstances where they've just won the lottery practically with an idea that they love. And so makes me think that possibly no matter what path you go down, you may not be destined for greatness, but if you go down a path that you love, you may be destined for life enjoyment or just prospering. So don't just focus on money, because money is, it's fleeting. Um, hmm. I think that copper is, although it's useful, it's a very nice block to work with when building. I've I've found that its usefulness really comes into play when you want a decoration, but that isn't the thing for everyone, so I don't blame anyone for getting mad at the devs of Minecraft for putting out updates that aren't as polished as what they want, but we should definitely as a community take a step back and realize that it's most likely something larger, like Microsoft not allowing the devs to work at the full rate that they want. Along with that, they need to make sure it's 100% polished with no bugs or any breaking game breaking glitches. Meanwhile, with like modding, you can have games crash and then all you do is you blame it on mods. Many people I've seen like a kind of counterculture, a counter to this argument where they're saying that the devs are not the problem, you're the problem. But I don't think anyone's a problem in this case, because the players have the right to have their opinions, and the devs have the right to create what they need to or what they're supposed to based off of the requirements of a company. But I think that we're just all a little bit tired of having games feel boring, but the problem is we're playing the games so then they are boring. We're playing games like this in a competitive way, so of course it gets tiresome really fast because everyone's competing to see who can get the best content or the best game. So like people who play hardcore worlds, of course they're going to get bored really fast because well, hardcore is designed to kind of give you a challenge, but as soon as you take all of the challenge away from it, you go and create a character that can do anything it wants. You can practically just destroy anything, completely reshape the entire planet based off of some really goofy things. Like you can make an auto TNT duper, which could go and then break down mountains in seconds if you have a more powerful computer, of course. Or you could go and get a trident farm, have unlimited tridents, throw tridents anywhere. You don't need to worry about that. You could get an EXP farm, so then you can go and enchant everything, get it perfect. Like even mending as an enchantment, that is something that you could completely forego. You could make an entire series where you don't use mending, and it would be so much more challenging for people because then they have to realize that all of their tools will break eventually and they have to go and make backups for their backups. So it's really just we enjoy as like humanity, we enjoy ease, like in games when we can go and relax and just sit back and go, yeah, I will never die in this game, but sometimes the risk is worth the reward of enjoyment. Like one big thing I dislike about playing Minecraft especially is that I don't always get all the blocks I want. So one thing that I usually do in secret is I sometimes just change the world to creative and build what I want, and then I can be happy because it's not about just I need to go and follow the playbook. The playbook, the playbook of I need to never touch creative mode. Creative mode is for bastards and people who don't like survival, the monsters. And I think that's just kind of ridiculous because creative mode it's one of the main two functions because you can then be creative. And so if I have to go and sit there and struggle for hours on end, grinding out, getting 10,000 copper blocks to build a base that looks ugly, and then I have to tear it all down in survival, I don't care. I'll use commands. I'll go into survival mode, then go back into creative mode, and go back into survival mode. It's it's really just something that so many people are against for no reason other than you're a coward because you need to be the manliest man of playing video games. You need to follow each and every direct rule. But rules, it's all up to you. It's all in your head. I'm avoiding traveling in the snow because of the new snow blocks. I don't want to go and get trapped and die. Although it would be pretty easy to just kind of break out. I don't want to risk it. I keep forgetting that I don't have a mod for zoom because I usually zoom in the distance to see where I'm running towards, but there's no real big reason to do it other than to, I don't know, change my path, but it doesn't even matter. Honestly, though, I think that most of these decorative stone blocks, those are probably some of the best blocks to be working with in a build. They look very good. Like, it's not quite an orange back there, but it makes it look a little bit snazzier than dirt. But I do think it would be really cool to have brick variants of that, because sometimes you want some patterns when you look close. You don't want to just be like, yeah, yes, it's a color with speckles of a different color. Holy McMolies. So one thing that I enjoy doing on a daily basis, besides being epic gamer and playing Minecraft for hours on end, is I really do enjoy learning fun facts. That's like one of the big reasons why I would like sit on any sort of social media or something for a long period of time. It's just to look at fun facts, because I think fun facts are fascinating. Like at the place where I work, I sometimes give out fun facts to pass the time along, just because sometimes that also cheers people up. It's a great thing to do. No trident throwers? Okay. But like some of the fun facts that I have are like how accordions are actually, since they're much more recently developed, the buttons on one side, because on accordion there's one side which is kind of like a keyboard, and on the other side it's buttons. Those buttons are just chords. So you would press a certain button, it would press down multiple sets of bellows, making a chord. So that kind of makes it forward thinking, and that was because it was developed more recently, instead of like back in the past where they were just like, no, you have to press each individual key or with your fingers. So they just used engineering to kind of solve a problem that they had with making music. So I find that fascinating, because it just shows how people created something that sounds unique and amazing compared to a lot of other things. Like the accordion has some of the most intriguing uses in a lot of music. So like in a song by, I don't know how to exactly pronounce a band name, but I call it Igor, Igorrr. Igor, they create they created this song called Cheval, is what I believe it's called. That song is beautiful. I love it so much. It sounds it's like a metal song mixed with like accordion. So I love it. It's a great song. I suggest it to anyone who likes metal, which is I'm 50-50 on metal. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm definitely not a hater. Whoops. Although I don't like whatever the podzol or whatever is, I don't mind it growing on my land when there's many big trees. So I chose this place of land kind of because it's a great spot for one of the greatest farms that you can be building, which is a mob grinder. People call it a mob grinder, some people call it a mob farm. I don't care. Either way, it's saying the same thing. It kills mobs and you get their resources. And so what I usually do is, with my mob farm, I put it above the ocean because it's a very nice area for flat land. I'll probably download mods to run this a little better, because I have a few mods that show a sphere of spawn. So like the despawn radius and all those. So then I can go and get an accurate farm that it pumps out most efficiently. So it works well. I may try building my own farms instead of relying on uh, designs that I often go after. Oh my gosh, this hoe is awful. Holy fuck. Each and every day. I think that's funny too. I think that singing incorrect lyrics to me is, it's like nails on chalkboard when I do it, but when other people do it, I'm okay with it, but I'm not like, I'm kind of a critic though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of an asshole with it, where I'm just like, well, those are the wrong lyrics, Buster. One time that I can bring up is when one person was singing a song, Yelling Timber, or whatever it is. You're Taylor Swift, you're yelling timber, or whatever. I noted out that it's yelling timber, not saying something else. I forget exactly what it was, but it just threw me off, and I was like, what? I usually have much more interesting things to talk about, but usually when I'm playing Minecraft and I'm like starting off, I'm very quiet, just like nose to the grind wheel, just building my farm so then I can go and get. Oh, okay, there goes that hole. I was thinking of making it last a lot longer by repairing it, but I guess that's over. Okay, I see something in there. I'm gonna. Honestly, though, creating YouTube videos is kind of therapeutic because you just create something that you find funny, and if you don't like it, just don't upload it. If it's something that you can do to alleviate a little bit of the stress because you can talk about goofy ass topics. Of course, when I was younger, I just thought of it as like getting famous and things like that, but fame really isn't really my end goal now, because I know fame is 5 seconds of fame is nothing. The coolest people on earth will eventually be forgotten, so why fight over fame forever? I'm dripping. I am dripping with gold. Let's go. I'll probably start fishing. I'll probably get a fishing rod and start going, because honestly, fishing is some of the easiest ways early game to go and get some food and things like that. I usually like to go and get villagers and then get like salmon. Salmon is way better than cod. I never realized that until like a little bit ago when I had another world where I was just kind of grinding through. I honestly thought that this was like some sort of creepy cow. I don't know why. My eyes deceived me. Oh my gosh, mining it with my fist when the axe is like 2 slots away. That is goofy. Hmm. I wonder what I'll do for a house. I don't like the cold biomes just because snow doesn't really blend in well with builds. It covers it. It makes it kind of uglier. So I may try to tackle that then, because that is definitely a building challenge where you don't want your build to look ugly so you could possibly go and have like light fixtures that heat up the ground in certain patterns. So then that I'm not too sure. It's all up to however I feel. If I want, I could just do an entire like aquarium base or something like that. I don't know. I'm not too dead set on a plan yet. I always 50 like I'm sitting here thinking like should I use my coal? Should I not? I'm like a big I usually just don't go after using my coal. I avoid it until like the last possible moment because to me coal is so valuable because you can't get it back, and so I'm just sitting there going, "No, I won't touch my reserves." I should probably start building a sheep pen. I think I'll need more. Yeah, that'll do. Hopefully the wheat grows a little fast. Um, damn. Where did that other sheep go? It just ran away. It knew what I was gonna do. It's just gone. That is a nice island over there. Oh, there it is. Damn. Hey, buddy. I'll wait until I get some wheat before I do any of that. In the meantime, I should maybe start building a house. Oh, I should probably also collect this over here. Fighting. I'm sure a lot of what the I'm sure not many people will see this video just because of YouTube's algorithm beauty. It's something to be feared and something to be loved. Just because of how weird it is. There's been a lot of theories like how it favors videos either under or over a certain length, such as like the shorts. It definitely has been trying to push shorts so hard, and I enjoy short form content in the way that I enjoy any sort of addiction because it gives you that instant dopamine, and you are sitting there like, yeah, give me more of this. Give me more of this content that literally gives you no substance. You can eat that up for days. It is just candy. It's like eating styrofoam peanuts. It's not helping anything. Look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste for love in a simple way. If you need to know what I'm saying. Yeah, what did like a dream survivor. I may have to go and just mute myself during like certain parts of this video because I knew I would not survive filming or recording a video like this without having like something in the background, so I have music playing in one of my ears. I could go and suggest songs for you. Like right now I'm listening to I'm Still Standing by Elton John. It's everyone already knows. It's a fantastic song. Nice, my tree is grown finally. I'm seeing if I can get enough spruce saplings for another big tree. I think the cure to shorts form content is really just starting to ease into longer and longer videos. For me, how I kind of abandoned it was by stepping away and like watching regular videos, like watching YouTubers who do documentaries and things of topics that I find really interesting. Just like there's so many videos. I too many to recommend really. I just enjoyed the fun facts from them truly. It's I sit there and I'm just like, did you know? And then just list off some fun fact and people go, oh, that's interesting. How I don't care. I think the funniest reactions that I get is something like on the lines of, how do you know that? And I'm just like, I know everything, because it's a whole lot easier than saying I saw it online, because then it always raises the question, is it credible? But I think that online resources are far more credible than some non-online resources recently, because we have we have newspapers citing interesting topics without like backing them. I'm not gonna pull up any resources. At least that's what I believe. That's the biggest takeaway from it. That I believe that most news sources aren't the most trustworthy site of information, especially since news is now kind of monetized, and it's exactly YouTube but with slightly weirder information that isn't given that well. Meanwhile, YouTube and things like that, we aren't given like too many people who are like blocked out of who can upload information, like Hank Green and things like that, where they can go and just upload information and give it out freely. Or, well, since they need a job, they ask for money through their Patreon, but still they're giving out this information on YouTube, a free platform, unless of course you're dealing with the whole adpocalypse of YouTube's ad blocker situation. But if you ever need a browser that will block all ads from YouTube, I suggest Firefox. They are probably the most reputable with blocking ads and trackers. They they've been known to stop any sort of ad collection. They keep all of the cookies from your private tabs pretty much separate, so it makes it amazing. It's not it's not like anything like, oh, wow, I think Firefox is the greatest ever. No, it's more of just, I think it's very convenient to have pretty much your privacy online, because privacy taken for granted just makes you kind of naked to the world, and it's a gross feeling. Funny to say while you're uploading a video of you playing a game and talking your thoughts. One of the songs that I think is not talked about a lot by Simon Garfunkel is uh, Rosemary and Thyme. I think its exact name is Scarborough Fair. I just call it Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme, because that's the most catchy lyric in my head. It's an amazing song. It's soft, it's light, it has some sort of airy kindness about it. I think that podcasts are fascinating for how common they are. It's just people talking while you can go and live your life, but shouldn't podcasts be kind of like just what you do on a daily basis, where you're just talking about your topics that you want to, and then I don't know. It's podcasts are I think they're useful on drives and things like that, but I also think that most YouTube videos that aren't really doing much, we should regularize or make regular where you can just talk about most things and like just video documentaries, but take away the aspect where you need the video to be playing for you to get the whole picture. Because I find where I watch most of my YouTube videos is when I'm like grinding Minecraft. I have like a video in the background and I just listen in. I don't really watch it. And so I think that it'd be way better for more videos to take on that idea where you don't need to watch to get the full picture. I'm throwing out the entire genre of like animation where it's like you need. But I do think that definitely we've had a great renaissance of creators coming out and creating fantastic content. Like one of my favorite sketch writers right now, Wizards with Guns. They are hilarious. Love them. Or Wizard with Gun. I don't know. I just think that they're goofy. I'm breaking all these leaves not because I'm like trying to get everything out of it. I'm just trying to get saplings because I know how fast I run out of saplings, and then I'm stuck with one and I'm like, okay, time to mine one spruce tree at a time instead of one of these big ones at a time. I had a debate with one of my friends one time to see what is faster, mining the leaves or just letting them decay naturally. And apparently, letting them decay naturally gives you less drops than mining them by hand. We could test it here and like show you, but I don't really care. It was just an argument where I'm like, I would rather not break every single last leaf, so then we can go and focus on more important tasks, like focusing on a farm. And then he was like, well, we can get more resources this way. And I was like, okay, fine. I think I'm usually the more argumentative person though. I would bring up like, no, I think it's this, and then he would be like, okay, where's your proof? And then I'd be like, up yours. I think another interesting topic that we talk about quite a bit is what is the greatest generation, because we're always saying things like millennials always rubbing it into Gen Z, like you weren't alive when VHSs were commonplace. Meanwhile, VHSs, it's kind of like saying you weren't alive when rock was common, and it's like the rocks never disappeared. They've been around forever. They're not just gonna vanish magically. Meanwhile, you can talk about things like laser discs, and oh, those vanish. Those off the face of the earth. It's just VHS is the most commonplace. It is kind of comical with that. It would be like us saying to the children, you weren't around when DVDs and Blu-rays were around. And it's like, those were literally everywhere. Like disc, boom, done. DVD. It is so goofy. To rub that into like children as well is kind of dumb, because you're just kind of trying to brag that you were alive sooner, and it's like you were born at that time. It's not like your choice where you're like, I choose to be born a millennial so I can drink during the day. Yeah. So I think that's kind of goofy, especially when it's like back in my day, things were good, and it's like, no, things were also bad. It's just you're kind of blinded by your own foolishness, because now you can probably look at the crazy things going on and going, what is going on? This seems ridiculous. And then you think that your younger life was way better, but it wasn't. It was just, you had maybe less worries. You didn't feel as much in pain. Especially with like teenagers saying things like, back when I was a kid it was better, or like especially old people saying like the gas prices now. Meanwhile, the gas prices are, we can't deal with it's just gas. For the most part, it's not the biggest concern. It's like, okay, gas. Especially when it's like, why complain about it when that's not going to solve anything? Complaining about something definitely doesn't help any situation. It really just makes it seem much more undesirable of a situation, because we have to listen to you crying about how much gas costs. Just a sinking boat with one guy in the background going, but I don't want the boat to be sinking. Back when I was riding the boat, it wasn't sinking. And it's like, yeah, because that was like 15 minutes ago, and it is now, and that doesn't matter that it was floating a few minutes ago. What changed to make it sink? A hole. How did the hole get there? It doesn't matter how. We have to fix the hole. We can't just talk about what the hole is. That's just the politics for everything, though. Just, there's a hole in the bucket. I think they caused the hole. That's why centralists are being central and just taking in both sides and going, wow, you both are dumb and inbred. What? I think that's the best opinion, just taking in both sides and kind of laughing at both of them. Because half the time they're spouting nothing but nonsense, especially in American politics, because it is nothing but a shit show. I'll try to avoid politics for the rest of this, because it's already too easy of a topic. It's like just reaching for something that's on the floor. One thing I find really interesting too is how we neglect to look around at our environment and find the beauty within pretty much everything. Because we take a look at nature and we go, why is it cold, or why is it, because it impacts how our day is going to go. It impacts our going from A to B. And sometimes it's just better to enjoy how beautiful it is, especially on days where it gets nice and warm. And of course that could be because of other problems in nature and life, but for the most part, I think it's a thing to look at and go, wow, truly is a good day. I'm alive. Yeah. That is one thing that I've picked up from working at the place I am. Uh, a lot of people are very happy just that they're alive, and that makes it much easier to bear working somewhere. Because just if everyone's happy and they're saying things like, well, I'm happy, I'm alive, I can witness your beautiful face today. That's all that matters, and that makes the job 10 times better, at least to me. To other people, they're like, but still I'm working, and it's like, okay, you're just throwing aside the nice thing that they just said. I'm wondering where I should build my house. If I go and build a house over there, it'll be too far away, and then all my stuff's over here. So I may. That's a problem I have with like building houses and things in Minecraft, where I never want to settle down, because as soon as I start settling down, I don't want to pick all my stuff up and move, because that takes so long. So I suppose I will build my house here, but when I wake up. Oh, I'm not bored yet, but I'm gonna go and call it there then. Because I think 2 days of Minecraft is good. It's worthy. At least 2 days. I think it was like three. Because there was one on the ice, one coming here and like laying this down and sleeping, and then I think there was one after that. But I think that'll be good. Well, thanks for watching. If you watched, if you watched to the end, I don't know, do whatever you want. I don't care. So, have a great